Each and every cent counts. You need to know. You need to educate yourself.
Yes.
Although, yes, we've got an accountant and all that, but you are still accountable
For the growth of that business.
Exactly. You are very, very important citizen of South Africa. Will be contributing more.
Just get it in you. If you think I want 3 million, you must know you'll pay tax. So most of us only dream of the income. We don't dream of the tax.
Yeah,
Okay.
you need to separate yourself from the business as an owner. You know, as an owner, you are working for that business.
Yes.
Yes, it's yours. You started it, you've registered it and all that, but you are working for that business. So since you are an employee, so when now you deserve a salary.
So welcome people, I'm excited. Episode number 3. The numbers are growing. How about that? So it's your girl, the village girl, the businesswoman and the education activist, your host Millycent Mashele. And today I'm sitting here with our business coach, our mentor, and she is the CEO of Adonai Accountants. Her name is Mapitso, but before I go into her profile, she will give it to us. Just tell us about yourself. From day zero, since we're talking about numbers, a brief intro about you, a 30-second intro about yourself.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Millicent. Thank you for having me today. I'm Mapitso Mphahlele, the founder and the CEO of Adonai Accountants and Tax Practitioners. I'm a chartered business accountant by profession, yes, and I'm passionate about SMMEs, SMMEs development and also business growth strategies and all that, yes. And so at Adonai Accountants, what we do, we offer services for SMMEs in terms of compliance. Okay. Compliance, I'm talking about your taxes, you know, your any regulations that affects your business. We deal with business compliance. Yeah, compliance is our game. Yes, at Adonai Accountants. And also, but now we have ventured more on empowering SMMEs, especially the startups. Okay. Yes, we mentor, we train them. We train them in terms of budgeting. Train them with pricing, you know, also the importance of compliance, financial management and all that, because we have realized that most of the SMMEs, they focus on survival, not on building wealth. Yes. You know, in business, we need to build wealth. We need to build, like, to create legacies, you know, but most of our SMMEs, like, they're not aware of that, you see. They're there to survive.
Maybe just to come to that, it's because most of us, when we start businesses, survival, we actually got to it because we needed to make money. Maybe you went to school for something and you realize you're not finding the job, and then you started using your passion. For example, you know how to bake and you're a good baker. You start a bakery, you are baking cakes. Then the business start growing. You didn't start with that in mind of growth and wealth and structure, the fact that it's now a business, it has to be with so many people. So that's where you come in. So just maybe a bit about your passion and how did you get to want to start your Adonai Accountants?
Okay, I'm passionate about growth. Yeah, and I believe that if you are self-employed and you are a business person, you can do more. You are not limited. You know, when you are employed, there are some limitations, a lot of limitations. But when you are self-employed, you know, there are a lot of opportunities. So, and I saw a gap there. That a lot of people who are self-employed, they're not aware of the potential that they have. You know, they focus more on just generating income. There is more to that. And sometimes they don't even generate what they want to generate because there are not processes in place. Lack of knowledge, you know, a lot of things and all that. You can have technical skills, but your administration is so important. Your business can fail because of your financial administration. You know, like issues of budgeting. You know, if you don't know how to budget in the business, actually it will start with your personal life. If personally you don't budget, it's going to reflect also in your business. You see, so there's just a lot of aspects like that. So I saw a lot of a gap there. And then I really decided, like, you know what, now I'm going to focus on this. You know, I want to close this gap. Okay. You know, the gap of compliance as well, you know. Yes, I want to close this gap. I want to educate. You know, I want to educate more and assist our small businesses to grow, to create wealth, not to just survive. Yes, we start by surviving, but you need to grow. You can't really survive forever. You won't grow. You see, yes, you need to grow, and so that's where then
the passion. So when you talk about compliance, I'm just thinking about us as human beings. When you are born, the first thing you have to have is an ID because you belong into a country. So compliance is really that. It's the fact that you need to have, what is your business structure? Like there's different compliance that you need to follow. You can't just be a person in a country and you don't have certain things. You are not known at Home Affairs. So most people start businesses and they don't know these things and they don't even understand why we need to do compliance. So maybe you can dig a bit there in terms of the compliance holistically. What are businesses supposed to comply with when you're thinking of starting a business? What's your first step of compliance?
I see. Okay. Firstly, if you want to be in business, you must be willing to be under authority. Actually, in all aspects of life, we are under authority.
True.
Whether you are a child at home, you are under authority of your parent. Whether you are married, you are under authority of your husband. At work, you are under authority. So same applies to the business. You know, so it's you becoming, I'm just trying to explain it in simple terms, the compliance. You are under authority, and that authority is there for your benefit.
Yes.
You see, if we can just change our mindsets and understand it in this way, it will be easier for us to comply. Authority is there for our benefit. Authority is there to cover us, to protect us. There are more benefits in it if we can really be intentional in understanding it. You see, so now in business, when you start a business, every registration, you must know that it has a reporting. Whatever that you register, you're going to report. And where you register, you report there. You see, it's just like that.
Okay.
That is the basic. You register at CIPC, the business you're going to report there. They need to know how is this business operating. You register with SARS, you're going to report with SARS. So those are the basics. Okay. And then from there, people are in different industries. Others, they're in construction. Others, they are in health. They are in different industries. There's also some compliance there. But the basic one, it's CIPC, where you register the company. At the end of your financial year, CIPC need to know how much did you do. You need to report. That is the first compliance. SARS need to know how much did you do. Even if you did zero, you report.
Yes.
So most of the SMMEs, they think that if I didn't do anything, I didn't receive contract, I didn't pay anyone, so why do I report? You have to report that you are still existing.
Yes.
You see, it's numbers. They must know how many active. Yes.
And these numbers then holistically generates a report for South Africa. So when you think of South Africa as a person, South Africa also needs to account. When you say our GDP, we talk about the numbers of how we grow. When we talk about inflation, when we talk about these numbers, they are actually generated from us as individuals, as businesses. That's why we then have to report so that they can be consolidated and be reported to.
Exactly. And
yes, you can come through.
This compliance issues. So yeah, I love it. And then another thing, after registration, it doesn't end there.
Yeah.
So in compliance, what you also need to know is that as you are complying like that, actually there are more benefits for you. There's no one who will do business with you if you're not compliant.
Yes.
No one will give you their money if you're not compliant.
True.
You understand? So you need to be compliant so that you can prove that you are legal. You need to be compliant so that you can prove that you are following the authorities, the right things, and all that.
You're not
you understand?
Con men or con business.
Exactly. So that's why with our SMME support, like especially those companies that are supporting SMMEs and all that, you have to be registered. They won't support you if you're not registered. Even our government, they won't support you if you're not registered. You have to be registered, and you have to maintain the compliance status. Compliance, it's like, it's not a once-off thing.
Yes.
You have to maintain it.
Yeah.
You see, that's why I'm saying when you register, you report. So you report continuously as long as you're still existing.
And so many SMMEs think by just registering and they have a CIPC certificate and they're excited they have a business, that's it. And then they go 3 years down the line, they realize they have compliance penalties and everything. So maybe we can touch on that in terms of the challenges that you see with regard to SMMEs when it comes to compliance.
The issues of penalties. Yes, when you don't comply, there are penalties. If you don't comply, there are penalties. So that's why it's important at registration, get the knowledge. At registration, get the knowledge. Know what are you putting yourself in. You see, know what is it that you are obligated to do at the registration. You see, because you really find SMMEs, they register their companies just to try luck somewhere. They said there's a tender wherever, all those things. Yes, they just register for opportunities, and which is not bad. You see, especially when it comes to issues of what I've seen lately, people, they will register for COIDA.
Yes.
They will register for COIDA, not having employees, they will register for UIF, for this and that, because that tender has requirements.
Yeah.
And they forget that you pay COIDA every year. You must report. Where you register, you must report. And there are also fees that needs to be paid. You understand?
Yeah.
And then that's where they acquire more penalties. You see, also in terms of SARS as well, you don't submit a SARS, you're gonna get penalties, and those penalties, they accumulate.
Yes.
You see, if it was 250, at the end of the day it will be 3,000. Do you understand? They accumulate as long as you don't comply. And then also CIPC the same. You don't submit, there will be also penalties. There are penalties everywhere. So that's why I'm saying that the best thing is to get all information at registration.
And like when you say at registration, like most people register, they don't, and they hired Adonai, and I know Adonai, you guys do it well because you sit with them and educate them. But you find that they get a consultant or they get a cousin who just knows how to register a company. They don't sit with them to say, once you're a director, you take this liability and this and this and this comes to you. And then they walk away, and before you know it, that SARS penalty is on the business, but if you want to close it, it will come back to you. So it's very important to really get awareness, to get information about your business and about running any business in South Africa, because you run under authority.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when it comes to business growth and business mindset, what do you think are challenges of SMMEs?
This is they like it's there's a lot of challenges. The first challenge is it's budgeting. SMMEs, they don't budget. They don't understand that a business is an entity by its own. You need to separate yourself from the business as an owner. As an owner, you are working for that business. Yes, it's yours. You started it, you've registered it and all that, but you are working for that business. So since you are an employee, so when now you deserve a salary.
It's not your money.
It's not your money, it's business money. It's if you can get it there. Then you will understand that I have to open a business account and I have to have my own account. That's there, simple as that.
That's
your banking. You see, yes. And then from there, okay, you generate you work, you generate your income, there are expenses and all that. And then when you do profit, it doesn't go to your pocket. Get business. You see, when you get your salary, some other businesses, like, you won't even be able to pay yourself salary because there are still startups and all that. You see, that's why I'm saying that most of the SMEs, they start the businesses for survival. So if it's like that, whatever money that comes, we use it for our personal use. If it's for survival,
Yes.
but if we are building, you will understand that when I do profit, I reinvest it back to the business. And as you reinvest it back, that's where when you budget, you will understand, okay, I made a profit of 100,000 this year and I need a bucket in my business. And then you start projecting to maybe work on budgeting for an asset in the business. You buy an asset that will even expand your business and bring more money. You see, so budgeting is very, very important. But budgeting starts with an individual.
Mindset.
Yes, it's a mindset. If Mapitso, I don't budget personally, how am I going to budget in my company?
But then don't you think it's a fact that you didn't even have money to budget on? Now you stumbled into this business and it's making money. It was not a principle that you had. So then that principle will not translate directly to business. So I think what we are saying in terms of the budget is really a personality thing, and it's really the fact that you should be aware that I don't have the skills. I'm new in business. Thank God I happen to be a good seamstress and my dresses are selling. I am good with this thing and it's now growing. Then you acknowledge the fact that I don't have the right skill. That's where you go to Adonai. That's where because I feel like people and small businesses, they don't want to acknowledge that they don't know everything. And they also don't want to acknowledge that business is a profession, if I were to say it that way, on its own, that it comes with new things that you don't know, then you need to learn and you need to acknowledge that. So most of them are like pompous, because not really pompous, let's not use that word, because people will be like, it's my money, I work hard, So yes, you work hard, and we thank God for you, because you are also generating our GDP as a country, our economy as a country, employing people. So well done. But in that sense, you also need to acknowledge, I don't know this. Yes. It's the same principle as a woman who's pregnant. The first thing you do as a woman when you're pregnant, what do? You go to the doctor, you go to the clinic.
Exactly.
So
find out
that's where we need
your health.
Adonai, where you need to now first
financial health check.
Can we go to the doctor, get the right expertise, get the right vitamins, get the right medication to ensure that you are building this business with a healthy mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you were still saying, go on, I was just coming in.
The budgeting part, we're still talking about budget. If you don't budget, you are running, you are running a business blindfolded. You understand? It's like budget, it's like a roadmap for you. It gives you a roadmap. When you budget, you know where to adjust. You know what to focus on, when you budget. It's like your normal budget, Millie. Okay, I'm earning 5,000 for an example. I'm earning 5,000. I use 3,000 for my living expenses, and then I'm left with 2,000. Out of this 2,000, I need to save for this. Like it's a roadmap. It's a roadmap. You understand? So that will bring, like, you'll be able to grow. You'll be able to see where are you going with this business when you budget. You see. So, and nice thing about our country, Millie, there's a lot of support. There's government support in terms of capacitating business entrepreneurs, and you get this knowledge, and then you apply it into your business, and then your business will grow. So that is the first challenge. Yes. And the second challenge, the budgeting part, it goes with financial management. That way,
it's a principle of financial management.
Yes,
even personal financial management.
Exactly. And then the issue of pricing. Yeah. It's a big issue.
You find an entrepreneur excited about selling a product that's making a loss, because their pricing is just out from day one.
Mm-hmm. And what I have realized with entrepreneurs is that if you are not confident about your product or about your service, you're going to undersell.
No. So that is a psychological issue at the same time, and about your product.
Exactly. Millie, if I say to you, Millicent, our financial statement is 10,000. And then you feel like, Mapitso, 10,000.
I'm going to go to another accountant.
I need to show you the value.
Yeah.
You understand? I need to give you the value, Horomili. When you pay this 10,000, this is the value you are paying for. You understand? So if I'm confident in what I'm giving you, Millie, you understand? I'm not gonna sell myself less. It's either, Millie, if you feel Mapitso is expensive, then you don't belong
go to the other competitors. And maybe on that note, we need to pay the bills. So Wansati is our sponsor here. And I get that a lot, that your product, okay, I'm not sure, but my people come and buy. Okay. But I also understand what you mean about the value, because now you can compare. No, but I can buy this somewhere else. That's why you say, go then somewhere else. Because I know our diffuser smells nice. Our diffuser can smell them. Our diffuser smells nice, so you can get them on our online. And you can also order them on our WhatsApp. But otherwise, we are paying the bills. So Wansati is sponsoring this podcast. But let's get back to the fact that you need to really know your value.
Yes.
And you need to understand your product. Yes. And that is also just part of a business, because business is made up of the product, is made up of marketing, is made up of sales, is made up of people. So holistically, when you understand what goes into your product, then you will understand that my value, I'm unique. That's why you don't find a KFC and a McDonald's charging the same thing, because they understand their value proposition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's also this challenge of competition. Yesterday, I was with this other SMMEs. We're training them. We're doing pricing and costing and pricing. And then they like most of them, they're in events. And then they were saying to me, we hire Tiffany chairs for 35 rand. Everybody in the area, they're hiring for 35 rands. If you will start selling it, hiring at 50, they won't come to you. So we it's like we are limited. We are limited by the society,
by whoever started with that price.
You understand?
And you find that price was not even based on anything, and then it just grew because then it became a norm.
You understand? So those are some of the challenges that they are facing. You see, they will sell lesser so that they can get the business. But there'll be time. Okay, there are times where you try to penetrate the market. Yes, you can sell lesser in order to get people in your books. You understand? But when you start growing, you need to change. You need to change your strategy. You can't just sit in one strategy where you're doing a loss, when you're not making profit and all that. You change the strategy each and every time. And the strategy, you will change it if you do budgeting.
And pricing really goes back to what's your gross profit, what's your product, who is your supplier. Because as much as we sell perfumes or diffusers, we don't go to the same supplier. Our quality is not the same. And we don't want to sell to the same people. So you need to make sure that you sit with your strategy.
Exactly.
Sit with those numbers. So when I coach entrepreneurs, most of the time they don't sit with their numbers. They are very intimidated with their numbers. They do them here, and you really cannot rely on the mind, guys. The mind is a very unreliable source of storage, because before you know it, you go out there, you see another thing. So then whatever, the entrepreneurs, everything is in their head. They will tell you, no, I said buy there. So you need to sit with your numbers. Do the spreadsheet. I always say the spreadsheet will tell you. And we always feel like the spreadsheet is for the accountant. Yes, you need the accountant to guide you, because you need accountability. You need the right expertise, like we said. But you also need to understand what goes into that spreadsheet. It's a conversation that you must have with yourself and your accountant or whoever is helping you put those numbers, because they're very important in the growth of your business.
Yeah, because also another challenge, you find other entrepreneurs, they're doing very well financially, and they don't mind just to take everything to an accountant. And they're not, it's like accountant will do everything for them. It's like they're not, as long they pay.
As long
as you understand? They pay. It's your business, you are still accountable. Each and every cent counts. You need to know. You need to educate yourself. Yes. Although, yes, we've got an accountant and all that, but you are still accountable
for the growth of that business.
Exactly.
So that's why you need to empower yourself. Empowering yourself as a startup is a very important tool. You can't say, me, I'm an engineer. I know more about running and fixing machines. I don't know about numbers. Unfortunately, or fortunately, okay, numbers don't lie, so it's a fortunate thing. You need to understand the numbers. You need to start learning about the numbers. You need to make sure that you can think gross profit, think break-even point, think profit.
Yes.
These numbers, it's something that you can learn. It's not rocket science.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so talking about challenges, any other challenge, or maybe talking about your experience with SMMEs in general?
Okay, another challenge is issue of funding. There are other business owners, Millie, they don't need cash injection.
No.
You know, if they can just be positioned in a right place, getting good market share, they really don't need funding.
Yes.
But most of our SMMEs, they think that having funding, cash like funding, it will answer all. Sometimes you can have it but not even use it for the right purpose.
And you can remain with some guilt after eating or using a grant and it never grew anything because you didn't invest in that strategy.
Exactly.
So my marketing partner who is running this podcast for us, Snapcare, McJuke always say, you don't need funding, you need a better strategy. Exactly. So what you're saying is in alignment with what you always say.
Yes, you need a better strategy. And also like focus on yourself, you becoming a better entrepreneur. You know, when you focus on empowering yourself as an entrepreneur in terms of numbers, in terms of the strategies and all that, you will run your business in a different way. When that money comes, you will know where does it go, what to do, and how to multiply it, and have sustainability plans and all those things. Understand? So that's another challenge that I have seen with SMMEs.
And in terms of growing these numbers, it means you need to surround yourself with the right people. So I'll emphasize that because I also experienced that SMMEs are the ones that are standing between the growth of the business. This business can grow, but this person, because of their mindset, because of the way they are, obviously they bumped into this and they are good at it, but they don't want to. Sometimes you need to release the business. It wants to grow. This child wants to get out when you don't want to let it go.
Exactly. You know what's happening now? As long as you are still inside, Millie, as long as you are internal, you don't know what's happening outside. Do you understand? So you need to come to a point where you now come out. You understand? You it's like you come out of, like, you're no longer into a day-to-day running. You need to go outside and network and learn more and bring in, you understand? And when you are outside, you will see what is happening in the inside. Sometimes when you are in the inside, you don't see your blind spot. That's why we need mentors, you know, coaches and all that. Sometimes you don't see your blind spot and all that. But the moment you start scaling up, like you bring people, you put somebody who can do what you can do, and you do something else that is different, but outside, externally, you're gonna see what is happening inside, and that's when you're gonna start growing. Because another thing with SMM is, I wanna run Arunai accountant alone.
Yes, because it's mine.
Run Arunai Hold accountant on. Alone. It's like it's mine and all that, and I won't grow like that.
Imagine if a baby was just entrusted to a woman only.
Do you understand? Then the company will grow when we start bringing other expertise in. You know, you get the marketing specialist, you get your PR, you get, you know,
administrator.
Yes, an administrator and all that. And then the company will grow.
So indeed, there is power in numbers.
Yes.
So 1 times 1, I will always say the statement, 1 times 1 remains 1. But once you start multiplying by another number, it then grows. Exactly. So your growth is lying on the multiplication. But sometimes it's fear. I understand you come a long way with this business. And maybe you get another administrator, they don't do well. But you just need to keep on. And also investing in training. Most of SMMEs, they want to get a cousin to be a receptionist. They don't train them how to answer the call. They don't train them how to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you are also not growing there. So you need to invest in training. Exactly. So maybe just to shift and focus on that tax practitioner element of Adonai, because tax is such a very critical element, especially now with tax season coming, and businesses sometimes can really close, you know. SARS can come on you and your business in 2 seconds, it closes. Such a great business. So let's shift to that. So maybe just a did you know exercise where we just entice you with the numbers. So South Africa holistically in 2024 has collected 2.155 trillion in taxes revenue. So you can imagine the money that we collect. And I just want to be, as we get to the tax side of things, I want you to just think, just take a moment and think as you're listening to say, when I think of tax, what comes to my mind? Okay, I would be honest. I think when I look at my pay slip, I just feel like, Lord, why am I paying so much money? Okay, but I understand because we need to take South Africa as a person and say, if we don't pay and survive and make sure that this country grows, who's going to look after our country? Our economy is going to die. Our children will not have a better future. There won't be investments. So somehow we need to shift from that feeling of, Lord, why do I pay so much money, to I need to pay so much money. Actually, I'm dreaming to pay so much money because it takes me to a 1% of the rich people. The rich people pay a lot of money, so I want to get there. So I look at this number now and thinking, I want to grow this number. My tax number must grow, please, because it means I'm growing my income. So just over to you. Tell me about basic tax in terms of individuals, in terms of businesses. What's your experience there?
Yeah, Millie, the thing is that the more income, the more tax you will pay.
Definitely.
Right?
And that's why I want more income.
Yes, the more income you desire, they know that you are very, very important citizen of South Africa will be contributing more.
Just get it in you. If you think I want 3 million, you must know you'll pay tax. So most of us only dream of the income. We don't dream of the tax.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Yeah. It goes back to compliance as individual as well. You know, it goes back to ethics as individual as well. You know, as we are living in South Africa, we want a better country. So, you know, we need to really change our mindset in terms of paying tax. You know, actually, we need to be proud of ourselves that we are contributing to the better South Africa. You know, we don't need to look at it in this negative perspective. No, my money, government, they are not using money for this. They're supposed to use. It's fine. It's there. They supposed to do. When they do your part.
Yes, and
you know,
we just had elections, so your vote counted. You know, now we are moving to government of national unity and all that is happening. So with that, you can leave it to election and the votes, but you need to comply and pay your taxes.
Exactly.
Okay, sorry, I came in.
Exactly. You understand, Amelie? Let's do our part. Let's mind our own business. You know, like I must pay my taxes so that my taxes can better our country and all that. We need to have that positive mentality and not having. I know it's a lot of money, especially when we are earning more. You see, but there are also there are other ways of saving on paying such tax and all that. But just generally, you know, as a taxpayer, we really need to be positive about it. You know, we need to be positive about it. Our country needs us. You know, we need to have that mentality of helping the government, not government helping us. Yes. You know, we need to have that mentality and all that. And when it comes to the business taxes and all that, as I told you, also entrepreneurs, you have to pay taxes. You know, for the money that you are taking out of your company, your director's remuneration is taxed. You know, you can also give yourself salary and pay as you earn tax. You know, and also the business itself, it generates income. As I was telling you, that the business is a separate entity from you. So the business as a person, they pay, and you also pay as a director. You see, so we all need to fulfill our obligations.
So maybe on the business tax, let's break down for an entrepreneur who's just listening or startup. They just want to understand what goes into the tax number that gets submitted to SARS. Income tax, obviously your income, what type of expenses, and how do we get to that? Just a brief not
breakdown.
complicated.
Okay. In terms of business, we have different kinds of businesses.
Okay.
Yes, we've got micro businesses, we've got small businesses, and we've got medium and large. Okay, so they are taxed differently. A micro business is a small business with turnover which is not that much. You see, and they are taxed according to their turnover. Yes, and you find out as long their turnover is less than maybe 355,000 or so, it differs with
different
years. Yes, they don't pay tax. They get it's 0%.
Obviously, with terms and conditions apply.
Yes, with terms and conditions apply. And as they grow, then they'll pay 7%. It depends. You know, and then with small businesses, they also have a rebate. I think this year it was 95,000 or something like that from the profit. If your profit is something that is maybe anything less than 90-something thousand, you don't pay. Profit. Profit is the money that you
remains after
revenue
business
and expenses. Yes, you see, if your profit is less than 90-something thousand, you don't pay tax as well. You see, so those are the rebates that we have. So that's why there's no there's no excuse of running away from submitting your returns as a business. And then when it comes to medium businesses and large businesses, it's just a flat rate of 27% this year.
Profit.
Yes, of profit.
Yeah, and it was actually 28% and
last
it went
year,
down.
yes,
So
to
that
27%.
1% means a lot, eh? I always say people are Millycent. So people, whenever they call me Millie and it's more like millions, but there's a cent. I'm like, don't underestimate the power of cents, because in that million, there's so many cents. You can't have a million without cents. So that 1% sharing, this reduction, it means a lot. Okay, so you were still...
every cent counts.
Every cent counts, especially in this economy.
Every cent counts, Millie, and we need to track each and every cent in our business.
Yes.
It's very important, you know. Yeah, so that's how the businesses are being taxed. And there's a lot of rebates there. There's a lot of...
different rebates in different industries.
Exactly. You see, so that's why it's very important to be more knowledgeable. And information is online, Ceci.
There's
now
information everywhere.
You go to SARS website, you will learn everything that you need to know. And nice thing also about SARS is that they also issue they also do some workshops for free.
Yes.
Just make time and go and attend and get knowledge. You see, so that's how that's how the businesses are taxed. And then going back to the personal tax, what taxpayers need to know is that, first of all, when you receive your RIP5, which is going to be anytime soon, others they've already received theirs.
I've already received mine.
And there are a lot of numbers there. And the numbers don't
want
lie.
the numbers to be big. Can they be big?
Yeah, there are a lot of numbers there, and numbers don't lie. So what is happening, the challenge that I've seen with taxpayers is that after receiving their RIP5, they think of refund. I wonder this year how much I'm going to get as a refund. They don't understand how did it came about to get that refund. It's like, this year.
If you're a tax practitioner and people give you to help them submit and you don't get them a refund, it's like you don't know how to do your work.
Exactly.
It's a very serious challenge we have as tax practitioners.
Yeah. It's a really serious challenges that we have as tax practitioners. That's why we need to educate them. We need to educate them that it's not about the refund. You will only get the refund if you were overcharged, if you were overtaxed. You know, if your tax you were overtaxed, then there will be a refund. Understand? Or if there's somewhere where you saved the tax, there will be a refund. But it doesn't just come automatically. Actually, you might even pay SARS. You need to pay SARS a lot of money. And there are people who are paying SARS a lot of money. And others is because of, number one, they are not intentional about their RIP5 when they receive it. They don't inquire. They don't correct the past mistakes as well, you know. And others, they paying a lot of SARS because of that thing of want to get more, forgetting that more money, more tax.
Yes.
You see, so there's just a lot of dynamics there.
And also for personal tax, it would be if you have other income that was not accounted for. Let's say you work like me, and then you have other income that comes at your personal space, and then that income has to be incorporated, and you find that it was not taxed, and now it gets taxed, and sometimes it gets taxed at that rate. So that rate is a bit,
bracket. It's
we all want to be in that high bracket. It's my prayer to be in that high bracket, but it comes with its own challenges. So you need to be very, very aware of what it means when you get other income, and then when you declare it, it will attract a tax that has to be then paid.
Yes, I was giving a talk. I was presenting about how to save tax.
Yes, please tell us that.
How to save,
I want to know
how to save tax. Talking with health professionals, doctors, nurses, and all that. Most of them, they moonlight. You find them, they are working for this hospital. They go there, they call them in the theater, they go there, then they will have multiple of incomes. Then they will have a lot of multiples of incomes coming in, you understand? And when the time like tax season comes, we've got about 5 RIP5s from this hospital, that hospital, and do you understand? So that it goes back to your bracket, it increases your bracket to be high. You understand? So moonlighting, having a lot of income, it increases your personal bracket. Yes. And I advise them, especially the doctors who are in practice, that practice with the name of the business.
Yes.
Let be like when they pay you, let them pay the company.
Yes.
Then you get your salary from the company, from the business. You'll be able to save like that. And also they pay a lot of money. They also spend a lot of money in terms of they spend a lot of money in terms of traveling allowance. They don't keep logbooks.
Yes.
So if you don't keep logbooks, you're gonna find yourself paying a lot of money at SARS.
While you were gonna
where you can save
on that.
You find most of the health professionals, they will travel almost daily from hospital to the clients but they don't keep the logbook, so they are not able to save. You see, they cannot be able to produce. Sorry, I've traveled these kilometers and all that. They cannot save on that. Another thing that helps us to save on tax is when we have some savings, investment, annuities, because like there's a rebate. I think it's a 35% or 30% somewhere there. Yes, like on the money that you have invested, like there's a percentage that you receive back. It's like they are saying thank you for saving,
because people don't save for their future. I think most of us, we have, I don't know what is it, we don't think we're gonna get old. So then we don't save. So you are encouraged to save by having such rebates. So we need to look into that and make sure that we save for our retirement.
There's also some savings, tax-free savings accounts in the banks and other institutions. You see,
and that comes with the encouraging of saving lifestyle and culture, which we hardly find, and that's where budgeting comes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you know what? When you get that money back as a refund, you need to reinvest it. You need to reinvest it. When you reinvest it, you're still gonna get another one, something like that.
So then it becomes a nice wealth creation tool.
Exactly. So those are some of the ways where we can really save on our taxes.
So what you've said, it's RIP5 and logbook and everything. So I just want to highlight
also medical certificates.
Yeah, medical certificates. Yes. I want to highlight the importance of documents.
Medical certificate. Let me tell about medical certificate. Medical certificate can make your tax to be high.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's say maybe you've got 5 kids. You've got 5 kids and they're all under your medical aid. There you're going to save because you're paying more.
Yes.
And then those kids, they're not always gonna be kids. And they're gonna grow up. And then when they're over 21 years out of your
medical,
and then that's when you will pay. That's where your medical. Then you don't save a lot from your. Yes.
So that's why when you're a tax practitioner and then last year you did this tax and it was savings and this year is not a saving. No, what happened this year? So guys, there's a basis to how these amounts are calculated.
Yes.
And it's very important to keep documentation. SARS has audits. So SARS is always audits, especially unusual transactions or unusual changes. It triggers an audit. And that in auditing, we say, if it is not documented, it is not done. If it's not supported, we cannot say it is valid. So definitely make sure that you get your documentation in order. We can't claim for travel as much as you were traveling if you were not having the right logbooks. Unfortunately, so it's very important to keep documentation.
Yeah, it's very important.
So moving, on social media or on the news, we always hear, especially people in the arts, like this one is owing SARS this much. Hey, this business is what really happened there.
Actually, that was the one that we needed to talk about. Is the VAT?
Yes, let's get there.
Okay, when you are in business, it doesn't matter what kind of business, no? As long as your business is now generating 50,000 and more on a monthly basis, you must register for it.
Okay.
There are times where you can just register voluntarily, but there are times where you have to register because of the law. The law says your turnover is above $1 million, you must register. So if you don't register for VAT, and 2 years pass, 3 years pass, so now you're just generating, enjoying that lot of money. The day you are in trouble with SARS, they're going to go back to where the day you started qualifying to be a VAT vendor. Then you're going to start paying from.
And you can't fool SARS. SARS is, you are transparent.
Just comply and save yourself all the stress.
The future.
Just comply.
Pain.
Just comply. So that's how you will find out. You will hear issue of who's owing this millions, the company millions, or individual millions is the issue of.
Yes, a person goes and buy a Lamborghini. I pray I buy a Lamborghini or whatever car. But when you do that, you need to understand how much tax is attracting that amount. Because that amount, as much as you say, I pay myself this salary, but you bought yourself this car. So then automatically it's your salary. You need to pay employee tax on it.
Yes. And there's this other thing that I want also to bring up, non-profit organizations, they think because they're NPOs, they don't pay tax.
They do that.
They have to pay tax as long as you are not registered for tax exemption. Even the churches. The money that we are always contributing at church is taxed.
It's taxed.
The church is not registered for tax exemption.
So a lot of NPOs don't understand the compliance, that they need to comply. You might be doing good for good, but that for good still needs to be under authority.
Yes.
Churches are a culprit. I always think and say that God is God of grace, But if there was issues that pastors and church leaders were going to go to the other side, I don't want to mention was about the monies and the compliance of the church. So let's highlight, even family businesses, these structures, they could be doing good for the community, but they also need to be under authority and be compliant because they are in the society, in the country. They operate in this land.
Exactly. They are entities, they have registered. You register, you report. You register, you report. You are an NPO, you must submit your returns. You must submit tax returns and all. You must submit your financial statement. How did you operate in your NPO and what was the profit? And from that profit, if you are not under the rebate and all that, you need to pay your taxes unless you've got a status of PBO.
Yes,
you are registered for tax.
You need to register. It's not an automatic. I'm a PBO. So most people, they I'm giving charity here, I'm giving food here. Can I register an NPO? They don't understand that after registering an NPO comes compliance administration.
Obligations.
Yeah, it comes administration. So in terms of businesses, I would really want us to also get back there in terms of taxes. Okay. What do you see as challenges or as things that you can advise business owners to look out for? Either in terms of tax planning or either in terms of just tax holistically.
Okay. I will advise business owners not to be scared of tax. Yeah, tax doesn't bite.
It doesn't. Shame.
Tax is there for their benefit.
Okay.
Yeah. They mustn't be scared of it. Most of the businesses, others, they don't even register because of they are scared of paying tax. They don't register. They just want to operate without registration, and it's not allowed. Okay. And secondly, in your business, you need to check where can you benefit as a taxpayer, as a business. For instance, there are a lot of incentives in businesses. If the business deals with research, there are incentives there in research. If the business can train students, and there are
so many incentives.
Yeah, there are incentives there and all that. Like, they also need to educate themselves. Where can they also save in terms of taxes and all that, especially the medium and large businesses. You see, with small businesses, they don't have any excuse of not complying.
Yes.
Medium and large businesses, they really need to do a lot of homeworks. But the small businesses, there's no excuse.
There's no excuse.
Yeah, because there's a lot of relief on their side. You see, but those medium and large businesses, there are just those aspects where they can really look at, issues of donating to the charities can also save taxes. You see, there's just a lot. If you can just be intentional about it and educate themselves on that. And it's a win-win situation. Hey, Ceci, it's a win-win situation. Yeah.
So maybe just in conclusion, what are those numbers that you want businesses to start tracking, to start looking at, to start at least getting themselves acclimed to,
Okay. Yeah, as a business, look at your profit. You are in business because of profit. We are not in business for, I don't know, for fun or charity or whatever. The reason you are in business is because you want to generate profit. And we don't just generate, we create it, we grow it, like, as we're saying that we create wealth, increase the numbers in your revenues. And then save on your cost. The numbers where you spending, you're spending,
look at the numbers.
Yes, look at the numbers. There are other things that are not necessarily on your expenses.
And sometimes we register for subscriptions and stuff, and they keep on taking the money, but you don't need them, I was looking at my numbers, I'm like, I'm registering for this. Why?
Yes.
Like 400 a month. That's a lot of money, Do
you understand? Yes. Let's look at that, And then another numbers that we need to focus on is assets. Let's focus on assets. Assets, we are really building, we are creating wealth there. Increase those numbers in terms of assets, and those numbers will increase
and income generating assets.
Exactly, income generating assets. So when we really focus on that numbers as well, we are going somewhere.
And we also don't want to work and have businesses and toil, and then we die, and then our grandchildren and our children goes back to suffering. So it's very important to also look at assets is a long-term mind to think of. I rather buy this car, which is a personal car, or buy this machine to build my business because it will generate more income. So that mindset of assets and understanding how assets can be a wealth giving to our children and our generation will help.
And then lastly, another number that we really don't even think about is the human capital number, where I produce another Mapitso at Adonai accountant. What will happen to Mapitso if there's no other Mapitso who can? Do you understand?
Yes, the human side of the number.
Exactly. You need to multiply as much as you can. Transfer that knowledge.
Enriching some other people. It doesn't hurt you.
It doesn't.
Multiply. If you can make another person start their own accounting firm, do that.
Doesn't, Sissy. It doesn't at all. So what we have done with as Adonai accountant, a way of giving back to the community. We have offices in Limpopo and in Mpumalanga. Those are farming towns, those are rural towns and all that. So we decided to focus on students from TVET colleges who did financial management. We trained those students to be accountant and tax practitioners.
Oh, that's really great.
You know, we empower them because these students, they have a lot of challenges in the labor market. They compete with students from university, especially university
You
of,
know, the ones that I come from.
Yes.
We come from.
You understand? They really compete with those students. And also, I don't blame the companies. They want good students who can really, but we decided to focus on those marginalized ones, and we are doing well. We thank God that we are doing well. We just need more support there, but it needs patience and it needs passion as well to develop those children from the village, producing accountants from deep in the villages. And so you start by training them the work ethics, the language.
Basic thing of communication.
Exactly.
Professionalism.
Computer skills, customer service. You are an all-rounder before you come to the technical
element.
So that's what we are
doing. And I think that's the
so
greatest impact to society.
Yeah, it is. It is. We really need more accounting professionals and tax professionals as well. Yeah.
And this profession of ours, it's a profession that was very closed in, even in the apartheid, and obviously going back, it's like a scarce skill in a way because it's really still closed. The information there, we think we know, but we don't know. Numbers are very complicated and can be technical. Important. So that's why we need to keep on keeping on. On that note, maybe we need a part 2.
Yeah, we do.
Because we need to dig into these tax numbers. What's provisional tax? We never spoke about them. So definitely a part 2.
Yeah, people are really struggling with some of aspects that tax. We really need to.
We need to just zoom into a taxpayer, doctors, engineers. Provisional tax, the different types of the taxes.
Pay as you earn. Companies, they don't pay employees tax. They end up earning a lot of taxes because they don't pay it. You understand?
There's more to this.
So there's
numbers
just a lot
of business. But thank you, Ceci, for coming, and we really appreciate the valuable information that you brought here. And you really made us understand that there is power in multiplication, there is power in numbers, there is power in growth. If we start with that mindset, we will go somewhere. And we're not doing it for us. Yes, we want to drive those nice cars, but it's more than that. It's the generational wealth, it's the sustainability, it's our GDP as a country. Because I always say, you might be staying in a nice suburb and stuff, but when you drive out, you will pass by a Mokuku. That should challenge you to think, but because if there's crime, if there's anything, it's really because of the inequalities. And inequalities, we can close it by making sure we multiply ourselves. So thank you for coming. I know I talk too much. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And to all the listeners, please subscribe. Please go to Adonai Accountants and follow them and make sure that you get knowledge from Adonai Accountants. And thank you so much for coming. And let's not forget, Wansati is sponsoring us. So please do get yourself some nice body care. And Ceci will give you some nice package for you.
Thank you.
So, all my guests, I'm going to make sure I have a package for you guys. So you to spoil yourself. But thank you so much. That is a wrap. This is Numbers Don't Lie, and indeed we see it in our community by multiplying, by making sure that we generate wealth. And I would always say, Lord, help me number my days so that I can gain wisdom and understanding. For we all know that our days are numbered. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.